In this video, I will show you how to assemble an extension cord. The extension cord in my video does not have a ground wire. A cable with 3 wires is usually considered grounded. I have only 2 wires in the cable. Please pay attention to this and be careful with electrical appliances. For the extension cord, we will need 3 parts: a plug, a cable, and a socket block. I am not an electrician by training and do not have much experience in this field, so I recommend watching this video for general information. I also recommend consulting with an electrician or making an extension cord under his guidance. In this video, I will be using 3 tools: a Phillips screwdriver, a kitchen knife, and a pen. First, unscrew this screw and open the plug. Take the cable and place it like this, then add about 3 mm more. Make a mark with a pen or pencil on the cable in such a way that the outer insulation can be clamped with this cable clamp. Then remove the top insulation of the cable at the marking point. I will remove the insulation using a kitchen knife. Be very careful not to damage the insulation of the internal wires. Please do not use cables and wires with damaged insulation. This is dangerous. I damaged the internal insulation of the wires several times, after which I cut them completely and redid everything again. I also made mistakes several times with the measurement and also redid it. Here is half of the waste after I redid it. After some time, I carefully removed the top insulation. The measurements you saw this time were almost perfect. Now I mark again to strip the wire. It's basically 1 cm in most cases. The expert recommended that I strip the wire to the size of the wire curve clamp itself, right here where you see the mark. After, I carefully stripped both wires at the marking point. The cores of each wire need to be twisted as I do, so that the cores do not stick out separately. You can do this with your hands or pliers. Pull this part of the plug onto the cable. Take the other part of the electrical plug and unscrew all 4 clamp bolts, but not completely. Unscrew it so that the wire curve fits there. Push the cable into the clip. Place one of the wires in the clamp and tighten the screw. The wire colors in this case are not important if there is no ground wire. While the standard color for ground wires is green, they can also be bare copper or even yellow with green stripes in some cases. Do the same with the other wire. Check that the wires are securely fastened. Now tighten the cable clamp. Check that everything is tightened properly, but do not strip the threads. Let's see the result. Experts recommend using a round cable for an extension cord for durability. Flat cable like mine is mostly used for in-wall wiring, but it's also good. Final check. Everything is fine, so I close the plug and tighten the screw. If you are an electrical professional, you can write your opinion and advice in the comments. The cable is connected to the plug. Now let's connect the cable to the socket block. First, unscrew the screws from the bottom of the block. In my case, only 2 screws. Usually there are 4 screws. Just like the block has a cable clamp and wire clamps. First, unscrew the cable clamp screws. Now we need to unscrew, but not completely, these 2 screws for clamping the wire cars. Now we need to connect these 2 wires to the block. Twist the strands of each wire together tightly. First, connect any one of the wires and tighten the clamping screw. In my case, when the cable does not have a third ground wire, it does not matter what color the wire is and whether it is the right or left one. Check if the contact is good. Now contact the other wire, tighten the clamping screw and check the contact. The other end of the cable that I am now connecting to the block, I previously stripped for the plug, but the measurements did not fit the plug but fit well for the block. As you understand, these are almost the same measurements as for the plug and for the block. In my case, they fit. Depending on what types of plug and block you have, the measurements may differ. But in most cases, it is still important to strip the wire cores by about 1 cm and also clamp the outer insulation of the cable in the clamp. Now we need to firmly clamp the cable with the upper insulation into the clamp. Tighten all the bolts to the end, check that everything is well contacted and clamped. I think it looks really beautiful and interesting. After I check the contacts, I close the block and tighten the screws. Maybe it would have been better to strip the top insulation of the cable in the block right up to the clamp so that the wires wouldn't overheat, but I'm only going to use weak devices, so I think it's okay. The extension cord is ready and I'll check if it works. Let's see if my power bank will charge. I think it will. And yes, the extension cord that I made in about 2 hours definitely works. If you are going to make an extension cord, check that the cable is not damaged. Please always be careful with electrical appliances and only plug a fully assembled extension cord into the outlet. I hope this video can help you. It took me about 2 hours to assemble the extension cord and about 10 hours to edit the video. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. See you!